47% of US Americans don't know the three branches of government, and even less could explain to you how banks actually work. You should know this. Yesterday, the Federal Reserve cut interest rates, and I'm going to tell you what that means. But first off, the Federal Reserve is an independent part of our government. Let me explain. The Federal Reserve sets interest rates, it prints money, it basically tries to make sure that there's not too much flowing around out there, but that there's also not too little. It's supposed to keep everything stable. And it's independent in the way that it cannot be influenced by politicians. So the president can't tell the chair of the Federal Reserve what to do or whatever, what have you. And that's extremely important. When the Fed does things like they did yesterday where they cut interest rates, that essentially makes money cheaper. So that means if you go to buy a car or you go to finance a home, interest rates are now lower. The bad news? Well, if you have money sitting in a savings account or CD or a high yield even, those rates also just got cut. So it'll affect how much money you're making on your money. But for a lot of Americans, that literally doesn't matter because only 24% of Americans even have an emergency fund. So why does the Fed do things like cut interest rates? Well, right now in America, our job market's pretty shaky, and they're basically trying to keep the economy from actually falling into a recession. Now, I know what you're gonna say, unless you're like a multi-millionaire, life probably sucks for you in a lot of ways right now because, yeah, everything's super expensive. But technically, we're not actually in a recession right now, and the Fed is trying to prevent that. But they cannot slash too hard, or what that does is cause inflation. Comment down below if you actually know what inflation is. I would love to explain it if a lot of you don't know. So yes, to summarize, I just want you to understand that interest rates are not just banker talk. It affects your daily life, whether you see it or you don't. And that's why you should know this.